All right, so it was a solid week last week. I just wanted to share a couple testimonials inside the VIP Discord. I have my man T Williams right here. You know, he expressed how his first week back trading, he was trading frantic. You know, lost like 3,000, but he was able to come back strong. All right, and was able to tap in, take control of his risk, and follow. You know what we have going on in the group. And then you see he was able to take $440 or about $434 to almost $3,400. All right, $3,393 was able to withdraw 2,500. All right, that's great gains, amazing, right? And this is, these results are not these are not average, all right, but this is shows you what's possible once you tap in and plug in what we got going here. All right, some of the testimonials, my man Tim, he's holding in 2,800 profit. All right, we got Jay here, closed out 194 profit and a $345 profit. And everything that we're doing is to make everybody a better trader. It's not to make you so reliant, to have you fully reliant on the signals, but it is something that you can tap into, and you can earn while you learn, and that will help you build your capital at the same time, or build your confidence as well as your capital, as you continue to grow as a trader. So be sure to tap in with that. If you want to get plugged into a VIP, you can visit us at the fxwave.com. Everything will be in the bio. All right. So let's get to this trading week. This week is looking like we have some solid setups going into this week as well. All right. So let's see. Started with the dollar index, like I always do. So we can see here. Let's clear some of this up. All right. So looking at this based off of if we just look at this on a weekly, right? So we can see price has still been in the uptrend. All right. Price has been making these higher highs and higher lows, just continue to break above structure, continue to ride up. So right now, the dollar did end the week in a corrective phase to the downside. So you see now here, price have retested previous structure. So this is an interesting point of structure to pay attention to. All right. Price could, I wouldn't be surprised if price decided to hold right here and just continue up. But me personally, I am anticipating or looking for price to give, more of a correction to the downside. So it's holding some support here right now. But let's say if we get a correction up and price stay below, as long as price really stay below like this lower high, we can get this correction possibly and get maybe one more wave. All right. But if the dollar does do that, if we do that and it comes down and it breaks below structure here, then it could be just setting up for that deeper correction to the downside. All right. Because from a structure based perspective, really, as long as price doesn't break right here, as long as price doesn't break this higher low of structure, then price still haven't broke structure. So it could come all the way back down towards here and still continue that move to the upside. All right. So we'll just have to see how price is going to develop coming into this week. All right. So USD Cad. So if we look at USD Cad on the weekly, okay, really just judging based off of the waves of price, this is really a big impulsive wave. All right. So from a structure based perspective, this is looking like just like a corrective wave. All right, a corrective wave before potentially give us an even bigger move to the downside. But just judging based off of the intraday perspective, we ended last week bearish, had a big sell off. So if you look at this, look at price to the left. You always look left to go right. So we're at an interesting point that you want to pay attention to. We're at a level of structure. Here to the left, this was a previous level of demand structure to the left. So I will draw that in. All right. Because if we look here, adjust this a bit. We look here past and the left, this was a major level of demand. All right. Before price eventually broke that and continued to sell off to the downside. All right. So judging based off of that, this is how I'm going to look at how we can catch our next potential move. All right. So looking at this really on like, let's say the 4-hour. Price came up and made this double top here. All right. We came up, retested this high, printed this bearish engulfing here and just rolled over. All right. So it has like it closed the week with some strong bearish momentum. You know, I believe we still could potentially get another move to the downside. So these are the ways that I would look to actually catch this setup. All right. Either wait for price to give a deeper pullback, because you can see here we had a big impulsive wave here, also breaking my counter trend line on my trend line right there as well. So price slightly pulled back. So let's say if that's the deeper pullback you want to give before continuing, or the deepest pullback you want to give, and let's say price just continues to break down here. If it continues to break down here and creating another low within structure, also you see this zone I have drawn here is, you know, the major level of demand in the past. So if we break below that, that's an even better sign that we're breaking structure. So you can look for maybe a pullback or retest of that and look to just continue that down. All right. So either, you know, that's one scenario, or price can possibly, you know, pull back a little deeper first. And on this pullback, maybe a retest of this trend line, you know, look for price to continue to the downside. All right. So those are the two potential scenarios I would look for, you know, somewhere like within here. If price want to pull back a little higher, right? Back up towards structure and potentially, you know, the retest of this trend line, somewhere like that, and then continue. All right. But overall, you know, I would still look for potential continuation to the downside. All right, so AU all USD. This was a nice trade that we also caught in VIP. All right, price played out beautifully, you know, exactly how we were pretty much anticipating it. You could see price came down to this level of demand. All right, look to the left, price had a big bounce in the past. All right, came right back down to the same level and held there again. All right, so now judging off price action, because we can see overall we've been in the downtrend. You can look on the weekly, right, downtrend. All right. So clearly, the bias remains that we're in the downtrend. All right. But short term, we could still possibly get another move up. Now, if we judge this based off the daily time frame, price formed this bullish engulfing right here. All right. That could be a sign that the buyers are still in control and we could potentially go even higher. Now, where price is currently at, though, we did reach this previous level of support, all right, or demand, right? We reached this previous level. So this is the level that price could possibly reject from before giving any more upside. So if you look at this on a 4-hour, price did give us a shifting price, right? I could take this trend line here so we can see. All right. Price actually broke above this lower high as well as this lower high. So it broke above our lower high within price. Okay. This was the shift that we got. Bounce up, slight pullback, pretty much a double bottom, and had a bigger move up. So now, like I said, I'm still looking for another potential continuation up, but I believe price is going to correct. So look for the pullback, all right, to happen first before continuing up. I will look for price to stay above this bullish engulfing candlestick, all right, on the daily. So a potential level that I will look for price to retest to is around here. You see here how we have a level of support right here. Also, you know, somewhere around here, I will look for an ideal level for the retest, because really, if you look to the left, you know, this is a level of support, but also judging based off of pretty much, I will identify this as a multi-session W, or like a W double bottom formation. All right. So really this will be the neckline of that. So a retest of a double bottom is ideal before you get a continuation. So somewhere pull back down within here, you know, look for the opportunity to continue it up. Okay. So let's say price does come down around there, around that structure, you know, it will look something like this as far as for the order, you know, enter your buy somewhere down there. I will have my stop loss below this bullish engulfing candlestick on the daily and just ride it back up. Right, that could still be, you know, 1 to 2 risk to reward or more. Okay, so that's all USD. Intraday, still look for buys. Now let's say if price continue up on that and it breaks above here, then, you know, we can look for this, have a deeper pull up within structure. All right, GU. This is a trade as well that me and the team, me and some of the traders within VIP, we were able to catch. Me personally, I'm still holding some positions on this over the weekend. Now, if I look at this on the weekly, GU, same thing. It's been moving in a downtrend on this weekly. Okay, but if we look to the left, this is a major level of demand. All right, major level. This is the lowest the GU has been since 2020. All right, so that's about 2 years. All right, a little over 2 years. So now price came to this level of demand, right? Roughly around 1.14 psychological level. And we started to form a bounce, a rejection. All right, the first price was choppy right here. You can see it fell down, bounced up, fell down, right? It was choppy before. Now it's giving us a bigger impulsive move up. So this daily candle is also forming a bullish engulfing, which is a good sign, seeing that at this level of demand, especially with it giving us forming this on the daily chart, which is showing us that the buyers are now coming in to take some control of this right now. All right. So now if we go down to the 4 hour, like I sent out in the group, this also is, I will identify is this as an inverted head and shoulders, with the head being there, left shoulder, right shoulder, right? And we also had a shift in price because price right here broke above our lower high, which also this could be considered like the neckline area of this inverted head and shoulders. So we had a break above here. All right. So now I would just say look for a pullback. So price could pull back some first. All right. On this pullback, I would anticipate the continuation move to set up. All right. Same thing as I show with AU. I will look for the bullish engulfing candle on the daily to hold. All right. So just play this corrective move and look for price to give that continued wave up. I will look for price to actually stay, definitely above also this right shoulder right here on the inverted. You can measure this out with your fib as well, from the low of that right shoulder to the extension it made up. All right. So maybe a 50% to what already pulled back about 50. So if we want to pull back a little further, maybe down towards the 61.8, possibly the 78. So definitely anywhere between maybe 15.4 to 15 to 1.15 even. All right, before giving that continuation to the upside. All right, and heading to the upside, I would look for that to head towards really looking at this structure on the daily. All right, to this next level of structure within here. You see, this is a previous level of support structure. I would look for price to push up into that level. So really anywhere between 1.17 to 1.17.5, all right, or somewhere a little higher within here, all right, before then possibly rolling over. But so this is the target level of structure that I would look for on GU. All right, USD CHF. This is also an opportunity I sent out. I covered these on the last weekly Forex cast as well. So if you guys didn't see it, you could check and see what I was covering. But man, this played out beautifully. USD CHF is not a very volatile pair. But man, did this move last week. Beautiful. All right. You see, we here on the daily chart. These are just three daily candles, just straight bearish. All right. So from the high of this level of supply, price move over 300 pips. All right. And this is the level I was anticipating for price to hold. And you can see here on the daily, it gave this bearish engulfing on the daily, which is your sign that price is likely to continue to roll over. When you see that on the daily chart and you're at a level of structure like this, that gives you an edge. That's a high probability setup, because it's the same thing it did here. Printed a bearish engulfing over here on the daily, all right, before continuing. So it did the exact same thing. All right. And now price started pretty much rejecting, roughly around this level of support within here, right? You see, this is a level of support. So it's starting to reject a little bit now. Okay. But going into this week, I believe we could still possibly get, another sell opportunity, because my bias is still bearish, especially looking at this on a weekly. We also got a bearish engulfing on the weekly. All right. So that's a sign that price is likely not done yet. Now it's just a matter of going to the smaller time frames to look for that pullback opportunity. All right. So where are the levels that I will look for a potential pullback? All right. Now, if I look at this on the 4 hour, okay, you can also see here on the 4 hour, boom, bearish engulfing at around that double top. really could have started looking for your sales within here. Just stop loss above that bearish engulfing or above that structure. You know, that still was beautiful. 1 to 3 type opportunity, almost 1 to 4. All right. So now how I identify potential pullback opportunities is I look to the left. I see where we have, now that I'm looking for a sell, I see where we have potential areas of resistance to where price could potentially pull back to and respect that for the continuation. If I look to the left here, I see my levels of resistance here. All right. Really pretty much within here. All right. Now, if I look here to the left, you see this is a level that price respected as resistance here as well with the double top and rolled over. Okay. So I can adjust this a bit too. So pretty much somewhere within there. All right. So really this is a level I will look for price to potentially come up, retest within here, and look to potentially look to give us that rollover within there. All right. Because if I look at the daily, basically that will say a retest and continue. So that would mean price would need to stay below this bearish daily candle here. All right. So that's what I would look for on USD CHF. Pullback opportunity, retest, and roll it back down further. You know, maybe down to about 1.95, which is roughly around this level of support. All right. So that would be the next target opportunity I would look for on USD CHF. EU. So we're looking at EU, also been in the downtrend. All right. Overwhelming downtrend. Clearly, you can see lower lows, lower high structure. And you could just beautifully see how, you know, price just trading in line with structure. Make the lower lows. All right. Lower lows, pretty much pullback, retest opportunities for continuation. Right. Continuing on these pullbacks for just continuation. Right. Got one even here, pullback, retest, continuation. So price is clearly showing you the direction of the market. You can clearly see that right there. All right. So now if we look at this price here on the weekly, price did just form a rejection. All right. So showing some signs of bullish correction. Nice bullish close right here. Nice bullish close. All right. So if we bring this down to the daily. Okay. So this is a level I look at too, right here. If I'll make this a line chart real quick. All right. So you can see price like made a lower low. All right. It made a lower low right here. Made a lower low. Then price came up, retested around here, and then rejected. All right. But it's looking like that was possibly a false breakout because now price is rolling back up. All right. Rolling back up. So if I look at this based off the 4-hour, price is showing a shift in price. All right. Because again, it retested right there, showing that, you know, possibly retest to just continue. But then you see we rolled back up. So we broke above this retest of structure. All right. Showing a 4-hour shift in price. Okay. So with that, I will still look for a potential continued buy opportunity. All right. Overall, I know we're still bearish, but I will still look for price to set up for another wave up. So maybe on this pullback, but then here, look for the opportunity. Okay. So I will look for here really for price to stay above like this lower high push. All right. So you can even measure that out with your fib from there to the high. All right. So price can have more of a pullback within here before then giving a continuation up. All right. Now, if I'm looking at this based off the daily, it could possibly be just setting up for a bigger wave up before the continuation to the downside. So this would be the first level, like roughly around here, the first daily level I would look for price to reach. All right. Within here. And within there, it could possibly just reject and then have a breakdown, possibly. All right. So it's interesting to see if price just want to have a pull up there and then continue, then sell off, or if it wants to pull back in deeper, right, towards around this lower high of structure, right, to see if we want to pull back a little deeper. So that's how I would play that. But overall, you can see the structure. So we're still in the downtrend, but now we're just catching, the corrective play. All right, possibly there or possibly a little higher, but for price then potentially set up for that continuation down. All right, GJ. So if we look at GJ on the weekly, we can see GJ has been moving towards this upward trend as well, based off of this price action. And you can see here clearly, right? Price broke above here, retested this structure. Looking to the left, that was once a major level of resistance. So it retested that as support. So we broke above, retested that supply or resistance level as support, broke above, creating a higher high, came back, retested this level, previous level of supply as support again, and broke above again. And then now it's retesting this previous level of again, because if you look to the left, it's retesting this level, this Brexit level. All right. So price action and market structures is everything. It's key. It's key to what's going to tell you what price is likely to do. And you react to what price is showing you around structure. So we see here on the weekly, price printed this bullish engulfing. All right. Engulfing like the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, pretty much engulfing like the last 6 to 7 weeks. All right. So to me, this is showing a sign that price is likely setting up to continue to the upside. All right. But if we judge it based off of that, where price is doing now, it's possibly setting up for, a correction, a pullback to happen before it just continues. All right. So looking at this based off the daily, the 4-hour, you can see price is now at this level of resistance. All right. And it is giving a rejection right now. It basically, to start the week or to end the week, it made a double top right here and just rejected. Now it pulled back some. So on this pullback, could possibly be setting up, you look for opportunity to catch this corrective play, to catch maybe one more wave down before price continues up. All right. So that's what it looks like is happening right now. If I look at this now on the 1-hour, you can see double top. So price is now retesting around, pretty much around this neckline of the double top, like within here. It's retesting here. So this is the area that I would look for price to potentially set up for just this continued move down. Okay, so where it's at now, if price starts to break down, you could possibly look for this opportunity here and just look for this to come down. Okay, now judging based off of where price could potentially go, I'm looking at structure to the left. So you see, we got a lot of action. We got some action right here, right? So what I like to do at times is I'll throw on my line chart, see where price is at, measure out the structure, or zone out the structure, throw my candlesticks. All right. So really within there, you can adjust it if you need to. But so I believe this could set up for price to pull back down within this structure before then possibly continuing up. Because I'm still looking at this based off the weekly, understanding that with that big weekly engulfing candle, it's likely that this is just going to be a correction before price continue. All right. So what you do is you just play structure. And on the daily, we got a daily rejection. So yeah, it's looking like price is going to correct first before continuing up. And then up here, you see we got our next level of supply structure up here. So that would be the next level that GJ would likely head to after this correction. Okay, so something like this, correct, possibly before they continue. All right, and EJ, something similar. So if we look at EJ on the weekly, EJ has now pushed back up into this around this level of supply. All right, look to the left. It's back at this level that is sold off before. Now, if we look at the daily, price just printed this bearish engulfing on the daily. All right, which is a sign that sellers are coming in. Break this down. Price had this rejection. So really with this rejection, I am anticipating another bearish wave going into this week. So on this pullback or retest, you can look for the opportunity there. Maybe a retest of that. Even if I break this down on the 1-hour, it broke down here and now it's slightly correcting. It could possibly pull up a little higher first and then maybe break down. you know, so you could look for this to be this corrective bearish flags setting up here, you know, and look for this, look to sell this breakdown. All right, either that, or you could wait for price to just, you know, give you a confirmed break of structure below, and then maybe look for the pullback or retest and then catch another wave. All right, but overall, believe this is just setting up for a breakdown, and this could come back down, you know, back down towards 140 really. All right, but the next my first target on this will be this structure here, this structure resistance, really roughly around 142 between 142 what is that, 142.3ish, between about 142.3 to 142. All right, so that's about 100 pips where price is currently at. That would be my first target. Now, if price was to come down there and not just hit that, but continue to break below it, then for me, that would be a sign that we're likely going lower down towards 140. All right. So you just play, I'll just play about structure, you know, just trade in line with structure, flow with the market. And to me, that's the best way to trade. Just flow with the market. Just go where price is showing you. All right. So that's pretty much it. You know, multiple opportunities on across multiple dollar pairs, you know, some of the JPYs. So let's just be patient. And of course, if you're on VIP, I'll keep you up to date daily. And, you know, let's look to have another solid week. All right. Be sure to join, check out the links in the bio, free Telegram, or if you want to tap in with us in VIP as well, be sure to like and subscribe. And, you know, let's continue to grow. See you all in the next one.